Elizabeth, run! Conti's voice cracks as he clutches his bleeding shoulder. The moonlight glinting off the river's surface in Arizona. 1930. His heart pounds as he pulls Elizabeth behind a willow tree, their secret meeting shattered by the crack of a gunshot. Henry, Elizabeth's father, stands tall in the darkness, his rifle smoking, eyes burning with rage. "You filthy Navajo," he snarls. "Stay away from my daughter, or the next bullet won't miss." Elizabeth's sobs echo as she clings to Conti, begging her father to stop, but Henry's threat hangs heavy. One more meeting, and Conti's life is over. Blood seeping through his fingers, Conti stumbles into the night, torn between love and survival. As Conti flees into the shadows, his mind races with thoughts of the woman he loves and the life he's fighting for. "I'll find a way, Mother. I promise." He whispers these words to Najoni, his frail mother, as he kneels beside her in their crumbling mud and straw hogan on the edge of an Arizona town. At 22, Conti is a skilled Navajo hunter, his hands calloused from years of tracking game, but his pockets are empty and his heart is heavy. He loves Elizabeth, a white girl whose soft smile and kind eyes make him feel alive, but she's the daughter of a wealthy rancher who despises him for his heritage. Their love is a dangerous secret, condemned by both the Navajo, who call Conti a traitor, and Elizabeth's family, who see him as less than human. With Najoni's cough worsening and no money for medicine, Conti's soul is torn. Stay loyal to his people and mother, or fight for a love that could cost him everything. Each night, he lies awake, the weight of prejudice and poverty pressing down, wondering if hope is just a dream. "Keep running, Conti!" His own voice echoes in his head as he stumbles through the dark forest, blood dripping from the wound in his shoulder. The Arizona night is cold, and Conti's breath comes in sharp gasps as he dodges branches, desperate to escape Henry's men. Their shouts fade behind him, but fear claws at his chest. He collapses beside a quiet stream, the water sparkling under the stars. Wincing, he scoops water to clean the gash, the sting pulling a hiss from his lips. Henry's words burn in his mind. "Stay away, or you're dead." Conti's heart aches as he pictures Elizabeth, her tear-streaked face as he fled. Is she safe? Will her father hurt her? Then his thoughts turn to his mother, Najoni, alone in their hogan, her cough worsening. A rustle in the bushes snaps him alert, his hand gripping a rock, ready to fight. It's just a deer, its eyes glinting before it darts away. Conti exhales, realizing he can't stay here. He needs help. Yazi, his old friend, lives nearby. Dragging himself up, Conti stumbles toward Yazi's camp, praying for refuge. When he arrives, Yazi's stern face softens at the sight of his bloodied friend. "You can stay," Yazi says, "but don't go back to that town. They'll kill you." Conti nods, his mind racing with worry for Elizabeth and his mother, knowing he's far from safe. Yazi's fire crackles as Conti sits, his shoulder bandaged but throbbing. "Why her, Conti?" Yazi's voice is sharp, cutting through the night. "A white girl? You're betraying our people." Conti's chest tightens, but he meets Yazi's glare. "I love her," he says, voice low but firm. "She's not like her father." Yazi scoffs, shaking his head. "The Navajo talk, Conti. They call you a traitor, say you've sold your honor for her." The words hit like a punch, and Conti looks away, the fire blurring through sudden tears. He's always been proud of his heritage, but now his own people turn against him. "How's my mother?" he asks, desperate for something else to cling to. Yazi's face softens, but his words are grim. "She's weaker. You can't go to her now, Conti." Henry's men are watching. Conti's heart sinks, picturing Najoni's frail form. Yazi leans closer. "Leave Arizona. Start over. Forget this mess." Conti clenches his fists, anger and determination flaring. I won't abandon my mother or Elizabeth, he says, voice steady despite the pain. Yazi sighs, turning away. Conti stares into the flames, resolve hardening. He'll find a way to save them both, no matter the cost. Alone in the pre-dawn quiet, Conti scratches a letter on a scrap of cloth, his hands trembling. Elizabeth, I'm alive. We need to talk. Please. He ties it to a stick and hands it to a young Navajo boy who runs messages for coins, whispering, Get this to the white girl at the ranch. Be careful. The boy nods and vanishes. Days later, Elizabeth sits in her locked room, heart pounding as she unfolds the smudged cloth. Conti's words blur through her tears. She's been sick with worry since the river. Her father's rage still echoes, but Conti's alive. She clutches the cloth, hope flickering. A creak at the door makes her jump, but it's Sarah, her older sister, eyes wide. What's that? Sarah asks. Elizabeth hesitates, then shows her. Sarah's face softens. I won't tell, she whispers. Grateful, Elizabeth writes a reply. Meet me at the old barn near the ranch, tomorrow night. She slips it to the same boy. When Conti gets the note, his heart leaps, but fear creeps. In what if it's a trap? Still, he can't stay away. He pulls a tattered hat low over his face, disguising himself as a drifter, and heads to the barn under cover of dusk. Inside, he waits, every creak making him tense, his love for Elizabeth pulling him forward despite the danger. Conti, Elizabeth's whisper cuts through the musty air of the abandoned barn, her silhouette framed by moonlight. Conti's heart leaps as she rushes to him, her arms wrapping around him tightly. Her warmth soothes his aching shoulder, but the pain in her eyes mirrors his own. I thought you were dead, she sobs, touching the bandage on his arm. Conti brushes a tear from her cheek, his voice soft. I'm here now, but Henry's men are hunting me. Elizabeth confesses her father's locked her in the house, her every move watched. Yet she slipped out to see him. Conti's hope surges. He begs her to run away with him, to start a new life far from Arizona. Elizabeth hesitates, her face torn. I love you, but father will never stop. A sudden creak outside freezes them. Conti pulls her behind a crate, heart pounding, expecting Henry's men. Instead, Sarah steps in, her face pale. You can't stay here, she warns. Father's suspicious. Sarah urges Conti to leave town, but Elizabeth clings to him, promising to think about escaping together. As they part, Conti's chest aches with love and fear, knowing their next meeting could be their last. Please, Dr. Wilson, save her. Conti's voice trembles as he stands in the dimly lit clinic, his hat clutched tightly. He's risked everything, sneaking into town disguised as a peddler to beg for help for his mother, Nizoni. Dr. Wilson, a stern white doctor, barely looks up from his desk. No money, no treatment, he says coldly. Conti's desperation spills out. He describes Nizoni's worsening cough, her frail body wasting away. She's all I have, he pleads. But Wilson's eyes remain hard, dismissing him with a wave. Defeated, Conti steps into the street, the weight of failure crushing him. But something nags at him. Wilson's quick glance away, the nervous twitch of his hands. Does he know something? Conti lingers near the clinic, watching. As dusk falls, he sees Wilson slip out, heading toward the ranch lands. Suspicion sparks in Conti's mind. If Wilson won't help Nizoni, maybe he holds secrets about Henry and the ranchers. Conti pulls his hat low, his resolve hardening. He'll follow Wilson, uncover the truth, and find a way to save his mother, no matter the risk. What are they hiding? Conti mutters, crouching behind a thorny bush, his breath shallow. He's tracked Dr. Wilson to a clearing where the doctor meets Henry and Mr. Carter, their voices low but sharp. The Arizona night hides Conti, but fear prickles his skin as he strains to hear. Henry's words chill him. The water problem is working. They'll leave soon. Carter nods, but Wilson shifts uneasily, saying nothing. Conti's mind races. What water? His people's river? The thought of harm to his community knots his stomach. He edges closer, desperate for more, when his foot snaps a twig. The men freeze. "Who's there?" Carter barks, his hand on a pistol. Conti's heart slams against his ribs as he presses himself into the dirt, praying the shadows hide him. The men scan the darkness, then dismiss it as an animal. As they leave, Conti scrambles away, his pulse thundering. He doesn't understand the full plan, but the word water haunts him. Whatever Henry's doing, it's bigger than Conti's love for Elizabeth. It threatens his entire people. He vows to find proof, no matter the danger. "How could you, Conti?" Lila's voice trembles with anger as she blocks his path to Yazi's camp, her dark eyes flashing. Conti stops, exhausted, the weight of the night's discovery heavy on his shoulders. Lila, a Navajo girl who's always cared for him, glares. "You're tearing us apart for that white girl," she says, her words cutting deep. Conti tries to explain his love for Elizabeth, the threat he overheard, but Lila cuts him off. "The elders talk. They want you gone." Conti's heart sinks. His own people, his home, turning against him. He feels like an outsider, caught between worlds. "I'm fighting for us too," he says, voice breaking. "Something's wrong with our water." Lila scoffs, her jealousy flaring. "Prove it, or I'll tell everyone what you're doing." She storms off, leaving Conti alone in the dawn light. Anger and hurt churn inside him, but he can't give up. His mother's life, Elizabeth's love, and now his people's safety depend on him. He clenches his fists, determination burning. He'll face Lila's threats and the community's scorn, but he won't stop until the truth is out. "This is it." Conti's whisper is barely audible as he slips through a broken window into Henry's ranch office, the moonlight casting eerie shadows. His heart pounds. He's risking death to find proof of the rancher's plan. The room smells of leather and tobacco, papers scattered on a desk. Conti's hands shake as he sifts through them, his shoulder wound throbbing. Then he finds it. A letter from Mr. Carter, its words chilling. "The poison in the river is working. The Navajo will leave soon." Conti's blood runs cold. They're poisoning his people's water to steal their land. Rage and fear surge as he copies the letter onto a scrap, every creak of the house making him flinch. Footsteps echo outside, a worker passing by. Conti ducks under the desk, holding his breath until the steps fade. He slips out, the letter burning in his pocket. This is the proof he needs. But what now? Expose Henry and risk everything, or stay silent to protect Elizabeth and his mother? As he vanishes into the night, Conti knows this secret could change everything or destroy him. "Mother, I'm here." Conti's voice is soft as he kneels by Nizoni's side in their hogan, the flickering lamp casting shadows on her sunken face. He snuck back to the village, heart racing with fear of being caught. Nizoni's cough rattles her frail body, and Conti's chest aches seeing her so weak. "You shouldn't be here," she whispers, her hand trembling as it touches his. Conti forces a smile, hiding his pain. "I had to see you." He hesitates, then tells her about the poisoned water, the letter, Henry's cruelty. Nizoni's eyes widen, a spark of anger in her frail form. "You must fight, Conti, for our people." Her words ignite his resolve, but the sight of her suffering tears at him. He promises to save her, to stop Henry, though doubt gnaws at him. Can he do it all? As he slips away before dawn, avoiding neighbors' eyes, Conti feels the weight of his mother's trust. Her strength, even in sickness, fuels him. He'll protect her and his people, no matter what it takes, even if it means facing Henry's wrath alone. "Yazi!" Listen to me. Conti's voice rises as he stands in Yazi's camp, the letter clutched in his hand. Yazi crosses his arms, his face hard. You're lying to save yourself, he snaps, dismissing the talk of poisoned water. Conti's frustration boils over, his oldest friend, refusing to believe him. The river's killing us, he shouts, pointing to the letter. It's why Mother's sick. Yazi's eyes flicker with doubt, but he shakes his head. You've lost your way, Conti. Chasing that girl's made you crazy. The accusation stings and Conti's fists clench, torn between anger and desperation. He takes a breath, lowering his voice. Come with me. See the river. Prove I'm wrong. Yazi hesitates, then nods grudgingly, insisting they keep it secret. As they agree to investigate, Conti feels a spark of hope. Yazi's doubt is cracking, but the tension between them lingers, a reminder of how far Conti's fallen in his friend's eyes. He grips the letter, knowing this partnership could save his people or drive them further apart. You're a prisoner now, Elizabeth. Henry's roar shakes the walls as he slams the door, locking Elizabeth in her room. Her hands tremble, clutching Conti's latest note, discovered by her father's sharp eyes. She sinks onto the bed, tears spilling as she pictures Conti's face, his desperate plea to run away together. Henry's threats echo, "Forget that, Navajo, or I'll send you far from here." Elizabeth's heart aches, torn between her love for Conti and fear of her father's wrath. A soft knock startles her. Sarah slips in, her face pale with worry. "I heard everything," Sarah whispers, sitting beside her. Elizabeth confesses her love, her voice breaking. "He's worth it, Sarah." Sarah's eyes soften, and she promises to help. Elizabeth scribbles a new note. "Conti, I'm trapped, but I won't give up. Wait for me." She hands it to Sarah, who nods, slipping out to find the messenger boy. As the door closes, Elizabeth stares out the barred window, the Arizona stars mocking her captivity. Her resolve hardens. She'll find a way to Conti, even if it means defying her father and risking everything. "Please, Dr. Wilson, test this water." Conti's voice is hoarse as he stands in the dusty clinic, a vial of river water clutched in his hand. Doctor. Wilson, the white doctor who once turned him away, frowns as he takes the sample. "Why should I trust you?" Wilson asks, his tone sharp. Conti's desperation spills out. "My people are dying. My mother's dying. Test it, please." Wilson hesitates, then nods, disappearing into his lab. Conti paces, heart pounding, picturing Nijoni's frail form. When Wilson returns, his face is grim. "It's poison. Arsenic." Conti's knees weaken, rage and fear surging. Wilson admits he's suspected the rancher's schemes, but stayed silent, fearing Henry's power. "I was a coward," he says, head bowed. Conti's anger softens. He sees Wilson's shame. "Help us now," Conti urges. Wilson agrees, handing Conti a file of old notes linking Henry to the poison. "I'll testify if you need me," he adds. Conti grips the file, hope flickering, but Wilson's nervous glance toward the door reminds him they're both targets now. As Conti slips out into the night, the weight of the truth presses down. He's got proof, but exposing it could cost him his life. "They're poisoning us." Conti's whisper is urgent, as he and Yaji crouch by the river, the water glinting under the moon. Dead fish float on the surface, their stench sharp. Conti's stomach churns as he scoops a sample, the proof of Henry's crime in his hands. Yazi, once skeptical, stares at the river, his face pale. "This is why our people are sick," Conti says, voice shaking with anger. Yazi nods slowly, doubt giving way to resolve. "We need more evidence," he says, scanning the banks. They creep along the river, spotting barrels hidden in the brush with Carter's mark on them. Conti's heart races. It's undeniable now, but a rustle in the trees stops them cold. "Get down," Yazi hisses, pulling Conti behind a rock. Carter's men patrol nearby, their lanterns swinging. Conti's pulse thunders as they wait, breathless, until the men pass. Scrambling back to the forest, Yaji grips Conti's arm. I believe you now. We fight this together. Conti feels a surge of relief, but the danger looms larger. They've seen the truth, but Henry's men are close, and one wrong move could end it all. Sarah, please, take this. Conti's voice is low as he presses the copied letter into Sarah's hand, redbuds blooming softly in the moonlit forest. Show the world what Father's done. Sarah's eyes widen, reading the words about the poisoned river. Conti, this could destroy him, she whispers, fear lacing her voice. Conti nods, his face grim. It's the only way to save my people. Sarah's hands shake, torn between loyalty to her father and the horror of his crimes. Elizabeth's locked away because of you, she says, voice breaking. Conti's heart twists, picturing Elizabeth's tearful face. I love her, Sarah. Help me, and I'll keep you safe. Sarah hesitates, then nods. I'll get this to the newspaper, I promise. Conti's chest eases, hope sparking. But as Sarah slips away, a shadow moves. Henry's man, watching. Conti freezes, praying Sarah wasn't seen. His mind races. If Henry finds out, Sarah's as good as dead. Conti slips back to Yazi's camp, the letter's weight heavy in his mind. Sarah's bravery could save his people, but at what cost? He clenches his fists, vowing to protect her, even if it means facing Henry himself. You betrayed us. Henry's bellow shakes the ranch house as he looms over Sarah, the copied letter in his fist. She shrinks back, heart pounding, caught sneaking out with the evidence. You're no daughter of mine, he roars, slamming the door, locking her with Elizabeth. Sarah's tears fall as she faces Elizabeth's terrified eyes. I had to try, Sarah sobs, hugging her sister. Conti's right. Father's a monster. Elizabeth nods, gripping Sarah's hand. We'll get out. We'll help him. Sarah's resolve hardens, despite the fear. Henry's men guard the house, their footsteps echoing. Sarah whispers a plan, a loose window board, a midnight escape. Elizabeth's hope flickers, but Sarah's heart aches. She's defied her father, and there's no going back. Henry's rage means danger for them all. Sarah sends a desperate note to Conti through a servant. I tried. I'm caught. Help us. As the sisters huddle in the dark, Sarah prays Conti gets the message. Her betrayal of Henry was for justice, but the cost is steep. She closes her eyes, clinging to the hope that Conti's strength will save them before Henry's wrath consumes them all. We can't let them win. Conti's voice rings out in the dim hogan, his eyes fierce as he faces a small group of Navajo. The flickering fire casts shadows on their skeptical faces, but Conti holds up the letter, his proof of the poisoned river. Henry's killing us, he says, voice shaking with urgency. Some nod, stirred by his passion, but Lila steps forward, her voice sharp. You're dividing us, Conti, for your white girl. The accusation stings and murmurs ripple through the group. Conti's heart sinks, feeling the weight of their distrust. He pulls out the vial of tainted water, slamming it on the ground. This is our death. Will you ignore it? Yazi steps up, his voice steady. He's right, I saw the barrels. The room quiets and a few agree to help, but Lila storms out, vowing to rally the elders against Conti. As the meeting ends, Conti's chest tightens. He's won a few allies, but the communities split tears at him. He grips Yaji's shoulder, grateful for his support, but knows the fight's just begun. With Henry's men closing in, Conti vows to unite his people, no matter the cost. You've gone too far, Navajo. Henry's voice booms as Conti stands bound in the ranch's barn, blood trickling from a fresh cut on his cheek. Conti had snuck in to confront Henry, but Carter's men caught him. Now Henry looms, his face twisted with hate. You think you can ruin me? He sneers, waving the stolen letter. Conti's heart pounds, but he glares back. You're poisoning my people. I'll stop you. Henry laughs coldly, admitting the plan to drive the Navajo out. Your kind don't belong here, he spits. Conti's rage surges, but the ropes bite his wrists. Then, a scream. Elizabeth bursts in, eyes wide with fear. "Father, stop!" she cries, throwing herself between them. Henry's face softens for a moment, but he shoves her aside. "You're dead if you stay," he tells Conti, ordering his men to drag him out. As they force Conti into the night, Elizabeth's sobs echo in his ears. He's alive, but Henry's confession burns in his mind. Conti swears he'll return, not just for Elizabeth, but to bring Henry down for good. "I'm not leaving you." Elizabeth's voice trembles as she clings to Conti in Yaji's camp, her face streaked with tears. She's escaped her father's house, slipping through the loose window Sarah found. Yaji, reluctant, led her to Conti, his disapproval clear. Conti's heart soars at seeing her, but fear quickly follows. "You can't stay," he says, cupping her face. "Henry will hunt us both." Elizabeth shakes her head, eyes fierce. "I choose you, Conti. We'll leave Arizona together." Her words spark hope, but Yaji cuts in. "Henry's men are close. You're putting us all at risk." Conti's torn. Elizabeth's courage strengthens him, but the danger is real. They plan to flee at dawn, heading west to start anew. Elizabeth curls against him, whispering dreams of a free life. But Yaji's warning lingers. Henry's men are scouring the woods. Conti holds Elizabeth tightly, his mind racing. This moment of love feels fragile, like a flame in a storm. He vows to protect her, but the sound of distant hoofbeats chills his blood. Their escape is a desperate gamble, and Conti prays they'll outrun Henry's wrath. "I can't stay silent anymore." Dr. Wilson's voice is low, his hand shaking as he meets Conti in a hidden grove. Guilt etches his face as he confesses his role, knowing about the poison but fearing Henry's power. Conti's anger flares, but Wilson's next words stop him. "I've sent proof to the town council," he says, handing Conti a copy of his report. Conti's breath catches. This could change everything. But danger follows. Wilson's been tailed by Carter's men, and a shout nearby proves it. "Run!" Wilson urges, shoving Conti into the trees. Conti sprints, heart pounding as gunshots echo behind. He escapes, clutching the report, but worry gnaws at him. Wilson's a target now. At Yazi's camp, Conti reads the report, hope surging. It details the poison, naming Henry and Carter. But Wilson's warning rings. "Leave before they find you." Conti refuses, his resolve stealing. He'll use this to rally his people and save Elizabeth. As he hides the report, the weight of Wilson's sacrifice hits him. This fight is bigger than Conti alone, and he's ready to risk it all. "We strike back!" Conti's voice rises as he stands before his small Navajo band, the firelight dancing on their determined faces. Yazi nods, mapping out their plan, gather more proof from the river, and prepare to confront Henry's men. Conti assigns tasks, his heart swelling as even Lila, still bitter, agrees to help with supplies. "We're doing this for our people," she says, her voice soft but firm. Conti's hope grows. This unity is what he's fought for. He sends a note to Sarah, thanking her and asking her to keep pushing the newspaper. Her reply arrives, smuggled by a servant. "I'm trying, but Father's watching." Conti's chest tightens. Sarah's in danger, but her courage fuels him. As the group trains, Conti teaches them to move silently, to fight if needed. Yaji drills the younger men, his skepticism gone. Conti feels the tide turning, but the risk looms large. Henry's men are everywhere. He grips the vial of poisoned water, a reminder of what's at stake. This band is his family now, and he'll lead them to victory, or die trying, for his Acis, Elizabeth, and their future. They're coming for us. Conti's voice is tense as he scans the horizon, the Arizona dusk heavy with the scent of dust and danger. Sarah's smuggled note burns in his pocket. Henry's hired more men, their horses scouring the woods for Conti and Elizabeth. Conti pulls Elizabeth closer, her trembling hand in his, as they hide in a thicket. "We can't run forever," she whispers, fear in her eyes. Conti's heart races. He knows she's right. He leads her to a new hiding spot, but hoofbeats echo closer, forcing them to crouch low. Suddenly, Yazi and a Navajo scout burst through the trees, signaling danger. "Henry's men are near," Yazi hisses. Conti's mind spins. Protect Elizabeth or fight? Yazi's men distract the pursuers, leading them away with false trails. Conti and Elizabeth escape, but the close call shakes him. Henry's rage is relentless, and Conti feels the noose tightening. Back at camp, he clutches Sarah's note, her warning clear. Henry won't stop until he's destroyed them all. Conti vows to end this, for Elizabeth, his people, and the truth, even if it means a final stand. "I'm free." Sarah's whisper is fierce as she crawls through the loose window board, her heart pounding in the dark ranch house. A loyal servant, risking everything, helped her escape Henry's lockup. Sarah clutches the copied letter, her father's crime scrawled in ink, and races to the town's newspaper office. The editor, a grizzled man, reads it, eyes widening. "This'll shake the town," he says, promising to print it. But he warns her, "Henry's powerful. You're in danger." Sarah nods, fear mixing with resolve. She sends a note to Conti through the servant. "The truth's coming out. Stay safe." Slipping back to the ranch, Sarah pretends she never left, her heart racing as Henry's men patrol nearby. He suspects her, his cold stare piercing, but finds no proof. Sarah's chest aches. She's betrayed her father for justice, but Elizabeth's still trapped, and Conti's in peril. As she lies awake, the weight of her choice presses down. She's lit a fuse, and the explosion will either free them or destroy everything. Sarah prays Conti's strength will carry them through the storm she's unleashed. "We're trapped," Conti's shout echoes as he and Elizabeth scramble up a rocky slope, Henry's men closing in. The river glints below, a cruel reminder of the poison they're fighting. Conti's heart hammers. They're cornered against a cliff. "Stay behind me," he tells Elizabeth, gripping a makeshift club, ready to fight. Her face is pale, but she nods, clutching his arm. The men's shouts grow louder, their lanterns flickering through the trees. Conti braces for a hopeless stand when Yazi's voice cuts through. "This way!" He and a Navajo band charge in, clashing with Henry's men. Chaos erupts, fists fly, and a stray bullet grazes Elizabeth's arm. She cries out, and Conti's world narrows to her pain. He pulls her to safety, tearing his shirt to bandage her wound, his hands shaking. "I'm okay," she gasps, but her blood stains his fingers. Yazi's men drive the attackers back, giving them a chance to flee. Conti carries Elizabeth to a hidden cave, his heart heavy with guilt. She's hurt because of him, and the fight's far from over. He vows to end Henry's terror, no matter the cost. The truth is out. Conti's voice trembles with hope as he reads the newspaper Yazi smuggled into camp, the headlines screaming, "Ranchers poison Navajo water." Sarah's letter worked. The town's in uproar, demanding answers. Conti's chest swells. Their fight's finally public. He shows Elizabeth her bandaged arm, a stark reminder of their stakes. "People believe us," she whispers, tears in her eyes. Yazi, once doubtful, claps Conti's shoulder. "I was wrong about you," he says, voice thick. Conti's heart lifts, but the victory's fragile. The paper names Henry and Carter, and townsfolk whisper of investigations, but Henry's power runs deep. Conti rallies his Navajo band, sharing the news, their faces alight with hope. Even Lila nods, her resentment fading, but Conti knows Henry won't surrender quietly. He hides the paper, his mind racing. The truth's out, but the battle's just begun. Elizabeth squeezes his hand, her strength fueling him. As the camp prepares for what's next, Conti feels the weight of their fight. This is their chance to win, but Henry's retaliation looms, and Conti braces for the storm ahead. "They'll pay for this," Henry's voice thunders through the ranch house, his face red with rage as he crumples the newspaper exposing his crimes. The Arizona night hums with tension as he gathers his men, their rifles glinting, plotting a brutal raid on the Navajo community. A terrified servant overhears and slips a warning to Sarah, who scribbles a desperate note to Conti. "Father's attacking tonight. Prepare." The note reaches Conti at dusk, his heart pounding as he rallies Yaji and their band. "We defend our home," Conti says, voice steady despite the fear. Yazi nods, organizing barricades, while Conti begs Elizabeth to hide. "I'm staying," she insists, her eyes fierce. "This is my fight too." Conti's chest tightens with pride and worry, but there's no time to argue. The Navajo unite, elders and youth standing together, their faces set with determination. Conti feels the weight of their trust, his mother's frail image spurring him on. As they fortify the village, the distant sound of hoofbeats grows louder. Conti grips his knife, ready to protect his people. The battle looms, and he knows this night will decide their fate. "Fire!" Conti's shout pierces the night as flames erupt, Henry's men torching Navajo hogans under the Arizona stars. The village glows with chaos, screams mixing with the crackle of burning wood. Conti leads his band, heart racing, swinging a club to drive back the attackers. "Hold the line!" he yells, dodging a swinging fist. Yazi fights beside him, blood trickling from a gash on his arm, but he grunts, "I'm fine," and charges on. Conti's eyes find Elizabeth, her hands steady as she bandages a wounded elder, her courage shining through the smoke. The Navajo push back, forcing Henry's men to retreat, but Conti knows this is just the start. "They'll come again," he pants, sweat stinging his eyes. Sarah's smuggled note arrives, revealing Henry's weapons cache. Conti's mind sparks. Destroy it, and Henry's power crumbles. He gathers Yaji and a few others, plotting a daring strike. Elizabeth meets his gaze, her strength fueling him. As the fires die down, Conti feels a fleeting victory, but the war's far from over. He grips his weapon, ready for the next move, determined to end Henry's terror. "Go now." Conti's whisper is sharp as he leads his small team through the ranch's shadows, the night cloaking their steps. Their target, Henry's weapons cache, its location betrayed by Sarah's note. Conti's heart pounds as they slip past guards, planting homemade explosives around the shed. "For our people," he mutters, lighting the fuse. The explosion rips through the night, wood and metal flying, crippling Henry's arsenal. But Mr. Carter's shout cuts through. "It's them!" His men swarm, and Conti's group scatters. Conti dives into a storage shed, trapped as Carter's boots close in. "You're dead, Navajo!" Carter snarls, raising his gun. Conti braces, heart thundering when Yaji crashes through, tackling Carter. "Run!" Yaji yells, grappling the rancher. Conti bolts, grabbing stolen rifles as his team flees. They escape into the forest, breathless but alive. Conti's chest swells with hope. They've weakened Henry. But Elizabeth's face flashes in his mind. She's still out there, vulnerable. As they regroup, Conti's victory feels fragile. Carter's rage means danger, and Conti vows to keep fighting for his love and his people's survival. "Father, stop this madness." Elizabeth's voice shakes as she stands in the ranch's parlor, facing Henry's towering fury. She snuck back, heart pounding, hoping to end the bloodshed. Henry's eyes narrow, his face a mask of betrayal. "You're no daughter of mine," he spits, slamming his fist on the table. Elizabeth squares her shoulders, voice steady. "I know about the poison, father. You're killing innocent people." Henry's face pales, shock flickering, but he recovers, snarling. "You'll stay locked here forever." He lunges, but Elizabeth darts past, slipping through a side door into the night. Her heart races as she runs to Conti's camp, collapsing into his arms. "I tried," she sobs, recounting the confrontation. Conti's chest tightens, fear for her safety warring with awe at her bravery. "Henry will come for you," he says, voice low. To protect her, he decides to take her to Dr. Wilson's clinic, a safer hideout. As they move through the dark, Elizabeth's courage strengthens Conti, but Henry's growing wrath looms like a storm. Conti holds her close, vowing to shield her, no matter what comes next. "She's safe with me." Dr. Wilson's voice is calm as he welcomes Elizabeth into his clinic, his eyes kind but weary. Conti stands at the door, gratitude mixing with worry. Wilson pulls him aside, voice low. "Henry's not alone. Carter and other ranchers are in deep, funding the poison." Conti's jaw tightens, the scale of the conspiracy sinking in. Wilson's already acting, sending letters to town officials to push the investigation. "You've changed me, Conti," he admits, guilt in his eyes. Conti nods, thanking him, but his mind's on the war ahead. Wilson hands him a crude map, marking Henry's last weapons cache. "End this," he says. Conti's resolve hardens, but Elizabeth's voice cuts through. "I'm coming with you." Her bandaged arm doesn't dim her fire, but Conti shakes his head. "You're safer here," she glares, defiant, and Conti's heart aches, can't lose her. Wilson promises to guard her, and Conti leaves, the map heavy in his pocket. Wilson's support is a lifeline, but the fight's growing deadlier. Conti grips the map, ready to strike, knowing every step risks everything he loves. "This is our chance." Conti's voice echoes in the firelit camp, his Navajo band gathered close, their faces set with resolve. He spreads Dr. Wilson's map, pointing to Henry's last weapons cache. "We destroy it and he's finished," Conti says, heart pounding with hope. Yazi suggests splitting their group, one team to distract Henry's guards, another to strike the cache. Lila steps forward, her voice steady despite past doubts. "I'm in, for our people." Conti nods, pride swelling, and assigns roles. Yazi leads the diversion, Lila handles supplies. He scribbles a note to Sarah, thanking her for her courage and promising to protect her family. Her reply arrives, smuggled by a servant. "Father's unraveling. Be careful." Conti's chest tightens. Henry's desperation makes him deadly. As the group sharpens weapons and packs explosives, Conti feels the weight of leadership. Elizabeth's face flashes in his mind, safe with Wilson but still at risk. He grips the map, determination burning. This strike could end the war, but one mistake could cost everything. The Navajo stand ready, united, and Conti vows to lead them to victory, no matter the odds. "Now," Conti's whisper cuts through the Arizona night, as he leads his team toward Henry's weapons cache, stars glinting above. They slip past sleeping guards, hearts pounding, and plant explosives around the wooden shed. Conti's hands shake, the stakes dizzying. But Mr. Carter's shout shatters the silence. "Intruders!" His men swarm, lanterns blazing. Conti and Yaji fight back, fists and clubs swinging in a desperate clash. Lila, hauling supplies, takes a hit to the shoulder, blood staining her shirt, but she grits her teeth, tossing a torch to ignite the fuse. The cache explodes, a fireball lighting the sky, scattering Henry's weapons. Conti's heart leaps, but a young Navajo falls, struck down. Grief chokes Conti as he signals retreat. Yazi pulls Lila to safety, and they vanish into the woods, the loss heavy. Conti's victory feels hollow. They've crippled Henry, but at a cost. Elizabeth's safety gnaws at him. She's still out there, vulnerable. As they regroup, Conti honors the fallen, his voice breaking. The Navajo's strength holds, but this win is bittersweet, and Conti braces for Henry's next move. "We've lost everything," Henry's scream echoes in the ranch office, his face ashen as he learns of the destroyed cache. Smoke still lingers in the air, the news delivered by a shaken Mr. Carter. Henry rounds on him, voice venomous. "This is your fault!" Carter, pale, urges them to flee Arizona, but Henry's eyes blaze with vengeance. "I'll burn their village to the ground," he snarls, ordering a final assault on the Navajo. A servant overhears, heart pounding, and slips the news to Sarah. She scribbles a frantic note to Conti. "Father's coming with everything. Prepare." The note reaches Conti at dawn, his stomach knotting. He and Yazi rally the Navajo, fortifying the village with barricades. Conti knows this is it, the last stand. Sarah's warning fuels his resolve, but fear for Elizabeth and his people weighs heavy. As the Navajo sharpen weapons, Conti's mind races. Henry's desperation makes him unstoppable. He vows to protect his home, gripping his knife, ready for the fight that will decide their fate. The tension is suffocating, and Conti braces for the storm. "Hold the line," Conti's voice booms as he directs the Navajo, their makeshift barriers rising around the village. Dawn paints the Arizona sky red, but danger looms. Yazi's scouts spot Henry's men advancing, dust clouds trailing their horses. Conti's heart races as he organizes defenses, assigning archers and fighters. Lila, arm bandaged, limps forward, insisting on helping with supplies. "I won't sit this out," she says, her grit inspiring Conti. Elizabeth, refusing to hide, tends to elders and children, her calm voice steadying trembling hearts. Conti pulls her aside, pleading, "Go to Wilson's, it's safer." She shakes her head, eyes fierce. "I'm with you." His chest aches, torn between love and fear. Standing before the community, Conti speaks, voice strong. "We fight for our future." Cheers rise, unity binding them. As Henry's forces near, Conti feels their trust, heavy but empowering. He sends Elizabeth to a sheltered hogan, praying she'll stay safe. The Navajo stand tall, weapons ready, their spirit unbroken. Conti grips his club, eyes on the horizon, knowing this battle will shape their destiny. They're ready, but the cost will be steep. "Elizabeth, no!" Conti screamed tears through the dawn as Henry's men storm the village, their gunfire shattering the Arizona quiet. Conti and Yazi lead the Navajo, repelling wave after wave, clubs and arrows flying. Dust chokes the air, but Conti's focus narrows when Henry himself charges in, eyes locked on him. "You're mine, Navajo," Henry roars, raising his rifle. Conti dodges, heart pounding, but a figure darts forward. Elizabeth, defying orders, throws herself between them. "Father, stop," she cries. Time slows as Henry's gun fires, the bullet striking Elizabeth's chest. She collapses, blood pooling, and Conti's world shatters. He screams, rage consuming him, and tackles Henry, fists pummeling until the man lies broken. Yazi and the Navajo overwhelm the remaining attackers, their cries of victory hollow. Conti cradles Elizabeth, her breath fading, her eyes soft. "I love you," she whispers, then stills. Conti's sobs shake him, the village silent around him. Henry's defeated, but the cost is unbearable. Conti's heart breaks, but Elizabeth's sacrifice fuels his vow. This fight isn't over. He'll honor her no matter what. She's gone. Conti's voice is a broken whisper as he holds Elizabeth's lifeless body, tears streaming down his face. The village is quiet, the battle won, but victory feels like ash. Yazi kneels beside him, hand on his shoulder. She was brave, he says, voice thick, but Conti can't hear past his grief. The Navajo gather, heads bowed, honoring Elizabeth's sacrifice. She fought for us, an elder says, and Conti's chest aches. She did. He swears to finish what she died for. Justice. Carrying her body to the ranch, Conti faces Henry, now bound and defeated, his men gone. Henry's eyes are empty, his power broken. Sarah runs out, sobbing, falling to her knees beside Elizabeth. I couldn't save her, she cries, begging Conti's forgiveness. Conti's voice is hollow. It's not your fault. He leaves Henry to the authorities, his heart heavy with loss. Elizabeth's love, her courage, burns in him. As he walks away, Conti vows to fight on, for her, for his people, for the truth. Her death is a wound that won't heal, but it drives him forward. This ends now. Sarah's voice is steady as she stands before the town officials, her hands clutching the letter and Wilson's reports. The Arizona courthouse buzzes, townsfolk crowding in, their anger palpable. Sarah's voice shakes only slightly as she recounts Henry and Carter's plot, the poisoned river, the stolen land, Elizabeth's death. My father's a murderer, she says, tears falling, but her resolve holds. The crowd roars, demanding justice. Sarah hands over every scrap of evidence, Conti by her side, adding Navajo testimonies of sickness and loss. The officials nod, promising a public trial. Sarah pushes the letter to more newspapers, the story spreading like wildfire. Conti watches her, gratitude mixing with shared grief. Elizabeth would be proud, he says, voice low. Sarah nods, her heart heavy with loss but lightened by truth. The trial's set, drawing eyes from across the territory. Sarah feels the weight lift, but Elizabeth's absence aches. As she leaves the courthouse, Conti's quiet strength beside her, Sarah knows they've struck a blow. Henry and Carter will face justice, and the Navajo will be heard, thanks to their fight. I was part of it. Dr. Wilson's voice trembles as he stands in the packed courthouse, the Arizona sun streaming through dusty windows. The crowd hushes, eyes fixed on him as he confesses his silence about Henry's poison scheme. Conti sits nearby, his heart heavy but hopeful, watching Wilson bear his shame. I knew and did nothing, Wilson says, head bowed. But Conti showed me the truth. He presents his reports, detailing the arsenic in the river, linking Henry and Carter to the crime. Gasps ripple through the room. Townsfolk shout for justice. Conti's chest tightens, gratitude mixing with grief for Elizabeth. Wilson's testimony, backed by Navajo accounts, seals the case. I'll make this right, Wilson vows, meeting Conti's eyes. Conti nods, his voice low. You already have. As Wilson steps down, the crowd's anger turns to Henry, now slumped in chains. Conti feels a spark of victory, but Elizabeth's absence aches. Wilson's courage has tipped the scales, and Conti knows this moment honors her sacrifice. The trial's momentum surges, and Conti braces for the justice he's fought for, fueled by Wilson's redemption. The river will run clean again. Conti's voice is firm as he stands by the riverbank, watching workers haul away poison barrels under the Arizona sun. The town's officials, spurred by the trial, have ordered the cleanup, and Conti oversees it, his heart swelling with hope. Yaji works beside him, directing Navajo volunteers who test the water, their faces alight with pride. Lila, her arms still bandaged, carries supplies, her earlier resentment gone. This is for our future, she says, smiling at Conti. Townsfolk join in, some ashamed, offering tools and labor to atone for their silence. Conti's mind drifts to Elizabeth, her sacrifice the spark for this change. He visits her grave, a simple marker by the river whispering, "We're doing it, Elizabeth." The river's flow strengthens, free of poison, mirroring Conti's resolve. His mother's health, tied to this water, gives him purpose. As the cleanup progresses, Conti feels the community heal, Navajo and townsfolk working as one. The river's renewal is a victory, but Elizabeth's loss lingers, a quiet ache driving Conti to ensure her legacy endures. "You're getting better, Mother." Conti's voice is soft as he sits by Nejoni's bedside in the clinic, her frail hand in his. The Arizona dawn filters through the window, warming her pale face. Dr. Wilson, now a trusted ally, adjusts her medicine, nodding. "She's strong, like you," he says. Nejoni's cough has eased, her eyes bright with pride. "You saved us, Conti," she whispers, squeezing his hand. Conti's heart swells, but Elizabeth's absence cuts deep. He tells Nejoni about the clean river, the trial, and Elizabeth's bravery. "She loved you," Nejoni says, tears glistening. "Live for her." Conti nods, choking back emotion, promising to rebuild their community. Wilson steps out, giving them privacy, and Conti shares his dreams. A stronger Navajo future, free of fear. Nejoni's smile strengthens him, her recovery a beacon of hope. As he leaves the clinic, Conti feels lighter, though grief lingers. Elizabeth's love and Nejoni's faith fuel his resolve. He steps into the sunlight, ready to lead, knowing his mother's life is a gift he'll honor by fighting for their people's tomorrow. "We choose you, Conti." The elder's voice rings out in the Navajo Council Hogan, the firelight flickering on faces worn but hopeful. Conti stands, heart pounding, as the community names him their leader. The Arizona night hums outside, but inside, the weight of trust settles on him. Yazi steps forward, his once skeptical eyes warm. "You've earned this," he says, clasping Conti's shoulder. Lila, now softened, nods, offering to teach the youth. Conti accepts, voice steady but humble. "We'll build a future together." He launches projects, new homes, a school, his hands guiding workers as they rebuild. Townsfolk offer supplies, their guilt fueling cooperation. Conti's mind drifts to Elizabeth, her courage inspiring every step. He visits her grave, whispering, "This is for you." Yazi becomes his right hand, organizing trade, while Conti negotiates peace with the town. The community's strength grows, but Conti feels Elizabeth's absence, a quiet ache. As he surveys the new Hogans, pride swells. His people are rising. Leadership is heavy, but Conti embraces it, vowing to honor his mother Elizabeth and the Navajo spirit, forging a legacy of resilience. "They're guilty." The judge's gavel slams in the Arizona courthouse, silencing the crowd's roar. Henry and Carter sit shackled, their faces hollow, as the verdict lands, life in prison. Conti stands among the Navajo, his heart pounding with vindication. Sarah's evidence, letters, Wilson's reports, laid bare their crimes, the poisoned river, the stolen lives. Henry's defiance crumbles. He avoids Conti's gaze, broken. Carter confesses, seeking mercy, but the crowd's fury drowns him out. Conti's mind flashes to Elizabeth, her sacrifice sealing this justice. Outside, Navajo and townsfolk mingle, their anger uniting them. Yaji grips Conti's arm. "We did it," he says, voice thick. Conti nods, but grief tempers his triumph. He visits Elizabeth's grave, the verdict bittersweet. "It's over," he whispers, tears falling. The trial's end lifts a weight, but her loss lingers. As Conti leaves, the town feels lighter, the Navajo stronger. Henry's reign is finished, and Conti vows to protect his people's future, carrying Elizabeth's memory as a beacon. Justice is theirs, and he'll ensure it endures. Her name lives on. Conti's voice is steady as he unveils a small stone marker by the river, Elizabeth's name carved deep. The Arizona sun glints off the water, now clean, as Navajo and townsfolk gather. Conti speaks, his words raw. She gave everything for us. Tears shine in Yazi's eyes, and Sarah weeps, clutching Conti's hand. The marker stands where they once met, a symbol of love that defied hate. Conti shares their story, her courage, her sacrifice, his voice breaking but strong. The crowd listens, moved, some whispering apologies for past silence. Navajo children lay flowers, their faces solemn. Conti's heart aches, but pride swells. Elizabeth's not forgotten. He kneels by the marker, whispering, "I'll keep you with me." Sarah vows to tell her sister's tale, ensuring it spreads. As the crowd disperses, Conti lingers. The rivers flow, a quiet promise. Elizabeth's love changed them, bridging divides. Conti stands, resolve firm, knowing this marker is more than stone. It's a call to honor her by building a better tomorrow. We're one now. Conti's voice carries over the Arizona field, where Navajo and townsfolk stand together, planting trees under a wide sky. The reconciliation ceremony hums with hope, laughter mixing with songs. Conti speaks, urging forgiveness. Our futures shared. Sarah steps up, her voice shaking. I'm sorry for my father's wrongs. The Navajo nod, Yazi's hand on her shoulder. We move forward, he says. Lila teaches children a Navajo song, their voices blending with town kids. Conti plants a sapling, dirt under his nails, thinking of Elizabeth. Her sacrifice sparked this unity. Townsfolk share food, Navajo offer crafts, and elders tell stories. Conti's chest swells. The divide is healing. He catches Sarah's eye, her smile soft but pained. She'd love this, she says. Conti nods, grief and hope entwined. As the sun sets, the field glows, trees rooted in new trust. Conti feels Elizabeth's presence guiding him. This peace is fragile, but he'll nurture it, for his people, for Sarah, for the love that changed everything. The ceremony ends, but Conti knows their work's just begun. They'll know your story. Conti's voice is quiet as he sits by Elizabeth's marker, a notebook in hand, the Arizona dusk soft around him. He's writing their tale, love, loss, justice, every word, a tribute. The story spreads. Newspapers print excerpts, schools teach it, and travelers visit the marker drawn by Elizabeth's sacrifice. Conti's heart aches, but pride grows. She's changing lives. Sarah helps, sharing the tale in town, her voice steady despite grief. She's still with us, she tells Conti, eyes bright. Navajo elders use the story to teach resilience, Lila reading it to children. Conti speaks at gatherings, his words raw but hopeful, urging unity. Townsfolk listen, some weeping, their old prejudices fading. Conti's notebook fills, each page a promise to Elizabeth. He visits her grave, reading aloud, feeling her close. You're everywhere, he whispers. The story's reach grows, inspiring distant communities. Conti's grief lingers, but Elizabeth's legacy is a fire in him. He'll keep telling it, ensuring her love and courage shape the future, binding Navajo and town in a shared dream of peace. You made this possible. Conti's voice is warm as he meets Sarah at Elizabeth's marker, the Arizona River sparkling nearby. They share quiet memories, Sarah's eyes misty. She loved you so much, she says, voice breaking. Conti nods, grief sharp, but softened by time. She brought us together, he replies, gesturing to the thriving village. Sarah's work, spreading the truth, aiding the Navajo, has built bridges. Conti thanks her, their bond forged in loss. They lay flowers, honoring Elizabeth's light. Sarah vows to support the Navajo, her guilt easing. "I'll keep her alive," she says. Conti smiles, feeling Elizabeth's presence. The village hums nearby. New homes, laughter, hope. Conti's leadership, Sarah's advocacy, and Elizabeth's sacrifice wove this peace. As they part, Conti feels steady, his purpose clear. Sarah's friendship is a gift, a reminder of Elizabeth's reach. He walks back to the village, heart full, knowing their work honors her. The river flows, clean and strong, like the future they're building. Conti carries Elizabeth's love, ready to lead, forever tied to Sarah by the sister they both lost. "We're stronger now." Conti's voice carries over the bustling Navajo village, where new adobe homes rise under the Arizona sun. He cuts the ribbon for a school, children's laughter filling the air. Lila, now a teacher, beams as she leads students inside, their books filled with Navajo stories. Yaji oversees a clinic's construction, Dr. Wilson advising on medicine. Townsfolk donate materials, their hands joining Navajo workers, a sign of newfound trust. Conti walks the paths, pride swelling as he sees his people thrive. Elizabeth's memory lingers in every step. Her sacrifice paved this way. He pauses by the river, its clean flow a testament to their fight. "You'd love this," he whispers, feeling her close. Sarah visits, marveling at the progress, her support unwavering. Conti's leadership binds the community, but he feels the weight of loss, tempered by hope. The school's bell rings, a sound of promise. As Conti joins the celebration, he knows this is Elizabeth's legacy, a future where Navajo voices soar. He vows to keep building, ensuring their strength endures for generations. "I am Conti." His voice is steady as he stands before a crowd in the Arizona town square, invited to share his story. The air hums with anticipation. Navajo and townsfolk alike listen, eyes fixed on him. Conti speaks of Elizabeth, her love that defied hate, and the poison that nearly broke his people. "We fought for truth," he says, voice thick with grief but firm. Lila reads from his book, her students chanting Navajo words, pride shining. Sarah shares how Elizabeth's death spurred her to fight for justice, tears falling. Townsfolk, once silent, applaud, their prejudices fading. Conti's words ripple beyond the square. His book, now printed, reaches schools nationwide. He feels Elizabeth's spirit, urging him on. "Unity is our strength," he says, meeting Yaji's nod. The crowd cheers, a bridge built from pain. Conti's heart aches for Elizabeth, but her legacy fuels him. As he steps down, children run to him, inspired. He smiles, knowing this moment honors her. The story's spread is a victory, and Conti vows to keep it alive, shaping a world where love and justice prevail. "I'll never forget you." Conti's whisper is soft as he sits by Elizabeth's marker, the Arizona dusk painting the river gold. His notebook lies open, filled with their story, now a beacon for change. He traces her name on the stone, grief, a quiet ache, beside his resolve. "You're in everything," he says, feeling her presence. The village thrives nearby. Schools, clinics, unity, all born from her sacrifice. Conti reflects on his journey, the bullet that grazed him, the battles fought, the love lost. Elizabeth's courage carried him through. He writes a final note in his book, a vow to lead with her heart. Yazi calls him for a council meeting, and Conti rises, strength renewed. The river's flow mirrors his peace, hard won, but steady. He walks to the village, purpose clear. To honor Elizabeth, by building a future free of hate. Her memory is his guide, a light in every step. Conti's grief lingers, but it's woven with hope. He's not alone. His people, Sarah, and Elizabeth's spirit walk with him, driving him to shape a better tomorrow. Your love changed us. Conti's voice echoes as he speaks at a regional gathering, the Arizona horizon wide behind him. His book, now taught in schools, draws crowds from distant towns, eager for the story of Elizabeth and the Navajos' fight. She showed us love crosses all divides, he says, voice strong. Sarah stands beside him, sharing how Elizabeth's death spurred her to fight for justice. Navajo youth perform a dance, Lila leading, their pride infectious. Townsfolk, once divided, now cheer, inspired to mend old wounds. Conti's words spread through newspapers, classrooms, even churches, sparking talks of unity. He meets a teacher who says, "Your stories in our lessons." Conti's heart swells. Elizabeth's reach is endless. He visits her marker, whispering thanks. "You're everywhere." The message grows, healing communities far beyond Arizona. Conti feels her guiding him, her love, a fire in his soul. Grief remains, but hope overshadows it. He returns to the village, ready to lead, knowing Elizabeth's legacy binds them all. Navajo, townsfolk, strangers, in a shared dream of peace and justice that will echo for generations. It's done. Conti's voice is quiet as he stands by the river, the Arizona dawn casting light on the thriving Navajo village. Henry and Carter rot in prison, their crimes exposed by Sarah's evidence and Wilson's testimony. The river runs clean, its waters sustaining life, a victory won through Elizabeth's sacrifice. Conti visits her marker, laying flowers, his heart heavy with loss but lifted by purpose. "You saved us," he whispers, her love eternal. He cares for Nizoni, now stronger, her smile his anchor. The Navajo rebuild, schools, homes, hope, united with the town in peace. Conti leads, Yazi and Lila by his side, their community a beacon of resilience. Elizabeth's story, told worldwide, inspires countless hearts, her marker a pilgrimage site. Conti feels her in every laugh, every new beginning. Sarah's friendship, the town's support, and his people's strength honor her. As he walks the village, Conti knows this is her legacy, a world where love triumphs over hate. He vows to keep it alive, leading with her heart, forever carrying the woman who changed everything.